Earth Day, I wanted to share my no waste Galaxy soap. So every year I always end up with little scraps of soap because I like to save everything. I scrape all the bowls every time I shave a bar or bevel a bar, trim those ends. I save all of those scraps. Now, if it's a fresh enough batch, then I can roll those scraps up into a ball and then I set them aside for later. But if they're a little bit dry or I need to maybe plane the front of them, then those get set aside for like a soap confetti. So that's what I did with these. And then the outside part is just a normal batch of soap. I leave it unscented. And then I add the activated charcoal to make a fun Galaxy one. And each side is completely different. Every single bar is different. So it's a lot of fun making these. When I do this, or when I had done this, I would say make a typical batch of soap. And then I'd roll out these little balls and I end up like, I don't know, half a dozen of the little size balls. But then I'm like, you know what? If you can see this one, I really like the bigger shape because I think it makes more of an impact. So for this year, I set aside all of those balls of soap that I make, but I decided to go with a much bigger ball of soap. So this one really, with the greens and blues, should look kind of like an earth, and I actually have another one in there. And this should make more of an impact, but this will also be mixed with the smaller ones as well. And if I have ones that are batches where, you know, like I said, I have to plane them, or I need to bevel edges a little bit more, or whatever reason, or with melt and pour, the glycerin soaps, those, like if you can't really roll them up in a ball, you can pour them into a cylinder mold. You can do that too, or like one of those little, let me grab it real quick. One of these little ball molds, you can pour them in there, but sometimes I just grate them up, since typically the glycerin soaps or the melt and pour soaps that I use for my normal ones are not the LCP, not the light cold process. Now, if I'm making a cold process batch and I'm adding glycerin soap embeds, then I choose a different variety, but the typical ones I don't. So if I have balls of regular melt and pour soap in here, they will sweat. But I find if I shave them up or shred them, then I have that nice confetti look. And every year I kind of do it a little different. Sometimes I have like a little layer, looks like asteroids, but these are a lot of fun to make. People really like them. They're very lightly scented because of those little balls of soap in there. And even if they're, say, conflicting scents, they actually blend really good when you have such a small amount of them. And they just smell like a really nice, fresh bar of soap. So these are my no waste Galaxy soaps, and here's the video on how I made them.